I'm live and I am in a different position here, and I'm trying something new. So, we're continuing on our talks about what is good, healthy eating for our health, our heart health. And so, I wanted to use a visual today, and it took me a little bit longer to figure it out because I had to write it all backwards. So, if it looks like um, I could see that one's wrong. So if it looks like a kindergartner did it, it was me trying to write backwards so that you can see it. Because it irritates me when I show you something, like, hold on just a sec. See, like when I show you something like this and the words are backwards, drives me bananas. So anyway, so today we're talking about fats. And it's strange for some people, and we're being more educated. So good healthy eating is becoming more something that all of us know more about. For instance, we know now that not all proteins are the same, right? So we're more judicious when we go to choose proteins to eat. And we also know that plants can have a lot of protein in it. You don't need to be a meat eater in order to get enough protein. But if you do choose to be a meat eater, then we know now that getting the right type of protein is important. And we're going to kind of come back to that because protein and fat in this conversation kind of go hand in hand. We also know that not all carbohydrates are bad. That fruit has a tremendous amount of nutrients that we would be missing out on if we didn't include it in our diet. We also know that complex carbohydrates are not bad. Grains are not bad. So, educating ourselves about the right types of foods is really important because everything has a purpose and our body gets nutrients from those foods. So today we're going to be talking about fats. Now, for a long time, fats got a bad rap. And guess what? It was really sugar all along. Sugar was sitting back there letting fat get all of the bad rap when it came to heart disease. And we talked about this last week, remember? That it's really a diet that's high in fat. That's high in sugar that leads to heart disease. And the reason why we came to that conclusion is what we learned is about when your body is flooded with too much sugar, it can't keep up. It tries, the pancreas puts out the insulin, but it can't keep the levels where it needs to be, and then it starts storing it as fat. And it doesn't just store it as, any old fat, but bad fat around your organs, in your arteries. So we know that now. So we have uncovered the dirty little rotten sugar. And now we're learning that poor fat, he needs somebody to advocate for him because it wasn't his fault that we had heart disease. So what we're going to talk about today is how we can get good fats in our diet and why good fats are so important. So first of all, when we're thinking about a good meal to make, we talked about this for the last couple of weeks, but always make sure that your plate has a good balance of fat, and we're going to talk about what those fats are, fiber. Remember, fiber is what is going to help regulate your blood sugar, so that's very important, and protein. So the good proteins that we've talked about. If you're going to do animal protein, make sure that it's grass-fed or wild-caught or pasture-raised or whatever. Okay, so today when we talk about fats, where can we get good fats from? Well, does this surprise you? And this is not put in any certain order. It's not in order. I just started with greens. So greens is a really great way to get good fats, and we call this essential fats. And you can get good fats. You can add greens to your smoothies. Danny and I, sometimes on the weekends, what we like to do is get greens and saute them really lightly and put them on as a base for our eggs, for our farm raised eggs. That is awesome. So what I try to do is make my greens the base of almost everything that I make. The other day I made some beans, just plain old humble old beans. They were delicious. But on the bottom of my bean bowl, I did kale. And I used to not like kale that much, but I found a way that I really liked it. So I take the kale, and it's the kind that's real, like, it looks like my hair. It's like real nasty looking. And so I take it and I chop it up, and then I like massage it, and then it breaks it all down, and it makes it so it's not so like fuzzy on your mouth. So I take it and I massage it like this. I put olive oil and some lemon and some Himalayan sea salt. And it is amazing how delicious that simple thing can be. So I put that on the bottom of the beans, put the beans on top, avocado, all of that good stuff. And so look at that. Look at all of the good greens. So now you know that the greens you're getting are the fiber and the fat. Beans are good protein and fiber. And then avocados, good fats. So we have a good meal there. Okay, so that's your greens. Number 2, I know that 2 does not look that great, but 2 is fish. And always make sure that your fish that you get is wild caught. And eat a variety of it. Don't just get stuck with, one certain kind. Open your eyes to different varieties, but always making sure that they're wild caught. Why is that important? Because the ones that are farm raised, they have to keep them in such a small environment that they give them antibiotics so that they don't get sick. And guess what? You get those antibiotics. So any of the good fats that you may get is like counterbalanced with the antibiotics and the other stuff. Some of our favorites in this house are wild caught salmon. We also love sardines. Sardines are amazing. Make sure that they're wild caught as well. And tuna. There's a really good wild caught tuna in olive oil at Costco that we love. That's one of our favorite lunches to have. Let's see. And, some worry about mercury. So that's why, getting good quality fish, knowing where you get it from is important. So, okay. So the next one now, this is our combination protein and fat talk, grass-fed. We learned about this when we talked about protein, but grass-fed is really important because beef itself is inflammatory if it doesn't have the right balance of omega-3s and omega-6s, because omega-3s are anti-inflammatory, omega-6s are inflammatory. But guess what? When you have a balance, it's exactly what your body needs. And only grass-fed beef has that. Interesting. Traditionally, commercially raised cattle, they don't. They're all omega-6s, and that takes that balance out, and it makes it very inflammatory for you. So not only are you getting good protein when you make good choices like that, but you're getting your good fats, your omega-3s and your omega-6s. Okay, what's next? Seeds. Oh, I spelled that wrong. S-E-E-D-S. I'm telling you, it's hard for me to write upside down or backwards, but anyway, seeds. Now, seeds are amazing. So we have walnuts are one of the best choices. So I know what you're thinking. Peanuts are not technically seeds. So even though they have the word nut in them and you kind of think that they're in that whole family, they're not. They're legumes, and they're not the best choice. So we're going to leave peanuts out of it. But we're going to talk about walnuts. Those are good. And also flax seeds, hemp seeds. Let's see, what are some of the other seeds that we got here? Flax, hemp, chia. That's the other one that I was forgetting. And you can use these in all kinds of stuff. You can add them to your smoothies so you don't even notice that they're there. You can make a pudding so that you really notice that they're there with chia seeds. I have a good recipe for that. So if you're interested, DM me. I can give you that. On salads, just sprinkling them on salads. Hemp seeds on salads are really, really good. I love that. So anyway, there's a lot of ways for you to be able to get your seeds in, and seeds are an amazing place to get your essential fats. Okay, next, cold pressed. That is a D, not a B, sorry. Cold pressed meaning the type of oil that you get. So we talked about this way back, like a few weeks ago, but you have to match the right oil, the right quality of oil with what you're doing. So a lot of people get in the habit of using olive oil, right? Olive oil for everything. And olive oil is amazing, especially if you can get the cold pressed organic oil, meaning that it has not been subject to high heat. Because once you put high heat with it, it changes the molecular structure of it, and it no longer gives you as good of the good fats as that you were after. So reserve oil, olive oil for your salads. Sprinkle it on your veggies. Even after, like, if you saute some veggies or some greens in like something like avocado oil or coconut oil, those are higher heat so that they can take it, and it doesn't change the structure of them, which is the important thing. And then when you take it off and you're serving it up, you're putting it in your bowl, then you can take and drizzle some of the good olive oil on top. So that's a good way to do that. Okay, what's next? Eggs. All right, we talked about eggs a little bit, and I did a post earlier in the week about eggs and how amazing eggs are, from the whites to the yolks. Don't take any of them out, and keep them in your diet if you choose to. Now, if you're completely vegan and you're not doing eggs, then I'm not like forcing you to do it. I'm just telling you that if you do eggs, make sure that they are pasture raised eggs, and you will notice a huge difference in eggs that are pasture raised. And there's a few really good places in our area where you can get them. Dare to Dream Farms is one where we've gotten ours from. I got some from California Fresh, and they were actually 18 eggs for $2.98, which was amazing. And they were all completely organic, always, out in the pasture, getting their bugs and all of that stuff, getting all the good stuff so that you can get the good stuff. So very good source of the omega-3s and omega-6s. Okay, what's next? No refined oil. I have trouble making my D's, obviously, because every D I made is a B. Okay, sorry. Okay, so watch your the oil that you use. So the reason why fast food and those places that use the vegetable oil for all their frying are so bad is that it's hydrogenated oil, and that is bad oil. So the bad oil and the sugar, those two, and look at how often junk food pairs those two together. They're like two peas in a pod, and they're terrible. So don't just take any old oil. This is a really good time. Most of us stay at home and eat our home cooked meals, which is really, really good. So we're not subjected to going out. But fast food places are still open. So, I mean, if you have a hankering for something that's not cooked at home, be careful about what you get, and ask them, what kind of oil is this? And Make sure that it's not hydrogenated oil, and it's oil that is going to give you good fats. Okay, so what did we learn about fats today? It matters, right? Fats, the quality of the fats will do so many things for you, from your skin and your hair to your internal organs. They don't call them essential fatty acids for nothing. They are essential to life and health. So make sure that you are getting your good fats. And this is all coming back down to our heart health, keeping our heart healthy and our whole cardiovascular system. So fat is an integral part of that. And I hope that you are able to get at least one or two good things from today. And I realized that I told you that I was going to jump on here at noon, but I got too excited and I ended up talking before that. So anyway, tag somebody in this. If you watch this afterwards and it's not on live, please put replay. I'd like to see, so I can kind of get a sense of when is a good time to do these. But thank you for joining me, and I will talk to you later. All right.